Now I can take this as a family. You are actually part of our meteorological family. So you can defend when you hear something wrong, or you can actually inculcate in the system what is right to make sure that people understand. Because I'm sure a number of you, when Mwonyi was presenting here, some of those terms could be a bit complicated if you don't work with them every day. But people should ask. So the first thing is to try and really understand the task ahead of us. What are we trying to do? And most important, there's always some ultimate in that we are not only doing this for ourselves, but for the nation. You know, Uganda is very dependent on agriculture. And to make it worse, we're depending so much on rainfall. Yeah? If you go to Israel, which is almost a desert, some of the products they make are much better than what we are doing here. Yet it's a desert. So we need to understand the task ahead of us. And then, of course, for colleagues in the Met Service and related services, we need to master this work. We need to be really gurus. When somebody talks to us, we need to speak clearly with what you call condor. You know, you are comfortable to really inform the people what's going on. The other thing is, I find being proactive very important. When I walk out there, sometimes people say, we haven't heard from you. And yet we have produced a lot of products. For instance, from here today, we are going to have many things spoken about. It's up to us here to go out, the 1 inch there, and explain to them. Most of them don't understand the technology we use. So I think we need to be proactive. Sometimes when people complain, I say you are right. You know, we haven't done enough to come to you. We need to come to the customers, really. They always, the customer is right. They say the customer is right all the time. So we really look into ourselves and make sure that we are proactive. Mr. Batazi, when we sit there in the high chairs, we need to remember that we need to go to the people, the lowest person. And I enjoy seeing our representative from the Defense Force. You're doing a lot of work, but we need to go to the people and explain more. When you read the newspapers, there's a lot of criticism about it, but I think most of the time we have not done enough to reach the lowest person, the citizen, to understand what we are doing. So I really look to myself and colleagues and others when we leave this workshop to make sure we go to the people, explain what's happening here. Because Uganda is how many million? 40 million people. We are a very small group of people, but we matter because everybody is involved in some kind of fun. Then, of course, as I said, when you mix with these customers, they will also lower their criticisms. Many times, when the other day the president called, when you remember in March, we had this hula baloo about the weather. So he called and said, my friend, what's happening? He just asked, what's happening? Then I explained. And in a few words, he said, okay, I'm going to cabinet. What do you give me? And I gave him a few words. He said, thank you very much, that's enough. And he went and told cabinet. But some of the ministers I met after that, they said, yes, the president has told us, but we are still not so convinced. So there is still a lot of work to be done. But if the head of state can call and understand, what can we do to reach other people? So for me, this workshop will be useful and helpful as long as all of us who are here, when we go out there, take something to a brother, to a sister, you know. At home when I go, my wife asks me all the time, when we're talking about equipment and so on, he said, but I hear you have, installed equipment there. I said, okay, jump in the car. And I took her to show her the radar. She was very impressed. Very, very impressed that actually when the guy guarding the place there came up, she pulled out some money and gave to him. She was really very happy. So we have the privilege to tell relatives and friends what we are doing. Meteorology has continued to be a little bit an abstract subject, and yet it's simply learning about patterns and how we can use that information to improve our lives. That is the issue. We need to make a difference in the lives of the citizens. So my friends at the university, Professor, we need to work hard together to make sure that we improve lives of people. So let's not be sensitive about when people say things which are not very nice in our ears. Let's go to them. Let's talk to them. Let's clarify the issue. I mean, this issue that came out, for instance. I called a friend. I said, my friend, what happened? What are these perceptions you are giving to the people? Of course, he was able to explain, but it was too late. Because he did not confer with us to make sure that he is always well informed. So let's use this workshop. Thank you very much for the presenters. I think, Mr. Moy, you scratched my brain to remember all those terms. Because sometimes, we have the degrees or something, but if you're not